everyone. Here's what's coming up tonight on News Center Now. The start of the school year is just weeks away, and new Mainers will be enrolled at Brunswick High School. A lot of them will be playing sports on these athletic fields.
Is your business safe from cyber attacks? One Main startup says you need more than just antivirus or firewalls. But if that's all you have, they do have some advice.
Good Monday evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Lindsay Mills.
And I am Clay Gordon in for Lee Nelson. Let's get right to Keith Carson, who's following some severe weather in the Augusta area. Keith, good evening.
Hey guys, yeah, we had a pretty gnarly storm out there, and it's still very strong as it moves eastward through Augusta at this hour. Let's have a look right at that storm, and we'll zoom into it here. And what I've been watching with it is there was some rotation in the cell itself that had a low-level, mid-level rotation, and that had some concerns for the possibility of a tornado, or at least a funnel cloud. The National Weather Service tagged it as tornado possible, and it looked really good there for a bit. Looking at it now, it looks like it's gusted out a little bit. So earlier on, it had that really classic hook echo where a tornado sits on the southern end of a storm, but the last couple of frames, it now looks like it gusted out, which is obviously good news, but right here is where the tornado would have sat and coming through. Now it looks like it's a little bit more flat on the reflectivity. Still just a ton of lightning with it though. Look at all those. Those are all cloud to ground strikes that are being recorded. I could probably query these very quickly and just see how many there are, but certainly in the last 10 minutes or so, quite a bit of lightning within this cell. Precipitation rate's not what I wanted, but that's okay. Looks like about 40 strikes there in the last few minutes. All of this, of course, partially because it is so juiced out there, guys. Dew points in the low 70s. More severe weather to watch the rest of tonight, but things looking much better tomorrow. Just some sunshine and quiet weather.
All right, Keith, thank you for following that. Well, summer is winding down. Families are preparing students to return back to school. That includes families of new Mainers who came from countries in Central Africa, fleeing violence and persecution.
In one mid-coast town where several families have settled and even more arrived on Friday, the school department expects around 25 to 30 kids to enroll in the school in the coming days. On top of the English language classes they're taking to get ready right now, there's another way they're hoping to connect with their new community, and that will have to happen outside the classroom.
The change is not easy.
Enciona Nuzani knows firsthand change is a challenge. He immigrated to the United States 7 years ago from Angola. Now he's helping new Mainers in Brunswick.
It's a work in progress. We're not going to get it all in one day.
When the town learned last month some of the asylum seekers would be living in Brunswick, Police Chief Richard Rizzo was part of a team working to hire a liaison to help them. That person, or cultural broker as he calls himself, is Nuzani. He speaks the three languages they speak, French, Lingala, and Portuguese. But he says perhaps the most important language is one they already know.
Sport is just like, something so important, so universal. That's put everybody together. You don't take care about how you look like, how you speak, what accent you have, all this stuff. People just come together when it comes to sport.
He's helping the high school-age students register for fall sports. Brunswick's assistant football coach said the students, like any others, will be welcome, even if they decide to try out on the first day of school.
We don't really have any idea, about the number of kids we maybe get, but, if they want to try a new sport, they're always, welcome in Brunswick.
The field providing a place and hope for new Mainers to make meaningful connections.
Just to be with other kids in a team, or just to be together, the inclusion and the integration is happening. It's very important. The sport is one thing that's put people together.
And Chris Rhodes of Brunswick Landing Venture, developers of approximately 300 housing units at the former Navy base, offered free rent to the asylum seekers for several months. And as we mentioned before, up to 30 students are expected to enroll in Brunswick schools. However, the school department is still analyzing and, quote, finalizing those numbers and needs. More headlines now. After 5 years of investigations and protests, a New York City police officer has been fired for the chokehold death of an unarmed black man. Police Commissioner James O'Neill announcing today he fired Officer Daniel Pantaleo, the officer who was recorded on video wrestling Eric Garner to the ground in 2014 with his arm wrapped tightly around Garner's neck. Garner's dying words of, quote, "I can't breathe," became a flashpoint in a national debate over race and police use of force.
The acting director of the Federal Bureau of Prisons has been removed from his position more than a week after millionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein took his own life while in federal custody. Attorney General William Barr announced Hugh Hurwitz reassignments today. Hurwitz had served as the agency's acting director since May 2018. No reason was given, though, for the reassignment, but the move comes as the Bureau faces increased scrutiny after Epstein's suicide August 10th at a New York jail. Kathleen Hawk Sawyer will take Hurwitz's place.
Workers are gradually returning to Notre Dame Cathedral to clear out hazardous debris and consolidate the fire-damaged medieval monument after a month-long delay prompted by fears of lead contamination. The consolidation work is a crucial first step to ready the fragile cathedral for reconstruction. Hundreds of tons of lead melted in the April fire, spewing toxic dust into the air. The final touches were put on the memorial for the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing victims today.
Yeah, the 3 stone pillars representing the 3 victims who died at the Boston Marathon's finish line were installed this morning. The $2 million memorial is now complete. The monument marks the spots where 2 pressure cooker bombs detonated on April 15, 2013, killing 3 and wounding more than 260 others. The 3 pillars installed were gathered from places around Boston significant to the bombing victims. 2 bronze bricks were also set in the sidewalk to honor the police officers killed in the bombing's aftermath. Boston is also planning a larger monument elsewhere in the city. A Nebraska couple had hoped to adopt a Florida woman's unborn twins. Instead, they found themselves scammed.
Yeah, Sierra Ray Stowe is accused of promising her unborn twins to Joshua and Lindsay Beekler and then backing out of the deal after getting $2,100. But that was only part of Beekler's financial loss. During her pregnancy, they were also expected to pay for Sierra's living expenses, so the family really lost out on $24,000. On June 3rd, Stowe texted the couple saying she was headed to the hospital to have the birth induced. The couple went there, but then she was not there. It turns out she actually had given birth on May 26th. We have this full story at our website and mobile app. Well, this week, our parent company, Tegna, has a new podcast about the kidnapping case of North Conway's Abby Hernandez.
Yeah, she was the 14-year-old girl who was kidnapped while walking home from school in October 2013. She returned home 9 months later after being held captive in a shipping container and was repeatedly raped. True Crime Chronicles, a weekly podcast hosted by investigative journalist Jessica Knoll and co-host Will Johnson, is taking a look back at the astonishing story. Her courage and determination in the face of unthinkable treatment ultimately meant her survival, and her return home is a story that still seems unreal. Here's just a short clip from that episode.
In early 2014, a group of friends posted a video to YouTube and to a website called bringabbyhome.com.
We just really want you back home because we really miss that part of our life. We miss the Abby, we miss the jokes, I miss you teaching me how to play some random Beatles song on guitar.
These are their voices, simple, even lighthearted thoughts passed along to a friend who went missing more than 5 months earlier.
Well, you could listen to this wherever you get your podcast from, or you can listen to it right now on our website and our mobile app.
And stay tuned tonight after News Center Maine at 6. We're going to sit down for more on that on Facebook Live, so you'll want to have your phone ready to tune into that. All right, well, we've had a lot of stories lately of big companies getting their data hacked.
Yeah, later in the show, we'll meet a Maine company that is being recognized for how they try to stop this from ever starting.
Facebook Live. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Facebook.
I got to fire this up. It takes me a little bit.
Yeah, I was trying to do that earlier, and it wasn't typing.
Oh, that's so weird. Uh-oh, it looks like that tablet's been cleared out. We can share.
Maybe I'll go on my phone.
Oh, wait, here, I can, if you want, I can do it. That's so weird that it bumped you out. All right, I will give you this one for now because I have the password. Sorry, guys. I have the password committed to memory at this point.
And the password is, oh, wait a second.
So I'll give you this.
We're not saying it.
Here's our friends. We're going to the monitor. Okay. So yeah, let's see what people are saying.
Got a couple of people saying raining in China. It's bad in Augusta, says Lisa.
Yeah, if you can safely send us photos or videos of the storm, please do so. We'd love to see them. Keyword being safely.
Roxanne is wondering when our baby's due, and that is October 2nd. Thank you, Roxanne. Yes.
Wait, I'm blanking on what it is. The password. Don't you guys hate that when you have something committed to memory and then you forget it when you need it? I don't remember it. That's okay.
You know, friends on Facebook, I'm sorry, we're having some issues right now connecting.
Yeah. So yeah, crazy weather out there. Hope everybody's staying safe. Thank you to those who've already sent us photos and videos of the storm happening. But again, if you can't get out there, that's fine. Just do it when it's safe. And if you have any like damage in your yard, like trees down or anything like that, feel free to send us your pictures of what it looks like where you live. So we are 1 month away from the hands-free law taking effect.
Can I interrupt for a sec?
Yeah.
Lee Goldberg, I think we remember that name, says,
Is he watching right now?
Is the baby going to be named Lee? Can't rule it out.
Can't rule it out. Hi, Lee.
My thing's not working. Did the kid just call us a kid?
1 month to go until the no handheld devices while driving law takes effect.
Yeah, the Maine DOT posting the reminder today that September 19th will be when this starts being enforced. The law updates a 2011 law that made it illegal to text while driving. Many said that law was difficult for police to enforce. Under the new rules, drivers could only activate or deactivate a feature on a mounted cell phone in hands-free mode with a, quote, single swipe, tap, or push of the finger. Would you rather rent or buy solar panels? Tesla is letting customers rent rooftop systems rather than to buy them.
This is interesting. Tesla CEO Elon Musk announced the offer in a series of tweets. The company will allow residents of 6 states, Maine not on the list yet, to rent solar power systems starting at $50 a month. Musk says customers can cancel any time, although Tesla's website says there's a $1,500 charge to remove panels and restore the roof to its previous condition. Arizona, California, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New Mexico are where this is happening right now. UPS is giving customers a break when it comes to holiday deliveries.
Yeah, UPS says it won't apply additional peak surcharges for residential deliveries during the busy holiday season. However, packages with unusual dimensions requiring special handling will receive an additional surcharge. The company says it's gearing up to handle a record number of holiday deliveries this year. More than 70% of eligible packages will be processed in new automated facilities. UPS says the announcement will allow customers to plan ahead before the shopping season gets underway. A big victory for a small business in the cybersecurity field. That story up next.
And Keith returns with more on that severe weather outlook sweeping its way through our state. Well, I thought professional anchor was going to be somewhere in there too.
You're going to the newsroom in the back.
Okay, cool.
Hey, will you tell them we can't do this one on without a prompter?
Oh. They need prompter for this. Okay, then you'll be up today. Okay.
Cool. I remember the password. Good news, everybody. I remembered it in the middle of reading. How about that?
The Keith, the problem is,
exactly.
At your level, there's actually no possible raise. That you're maxed.
You set the bar high.
Yeah, Isaac just said you could literally only go down from here. That's what Isaac says. It was in my personal text or work one? I got it on my other. Sorry about that. Tell them we
All
could
right,
do
let's
the
see, I'm
ad
almost
lib
there.
after, wherever.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, maybe I don't remember the password. I'm so sorry, Facebook. I'm trying.
Oh yeah, Facebook. Let me bring you into the
I
conversation.
do.
We're talking about Keith's
But
raise.
I think I had it, but I don't have it. Oh my gosh, you're the best. Will you Slack it to me, actually?
Oh, sure.
I have my phone for once. Oh, thanks, Beth. Oh, the beauty of working in the newsroom. Beth's got my back. Literally. Literally. I'll be able to join the conversation by the end of the show.
Oh, perfect timing. That's
I'm looking forward to this story, actually.
a couple things. Lee Goldberg update. He says Lynn's Lee for the name of the kid, or Clay Lee, and then he also says, "Really, Keith needs more money." And he says Keith can donate to the Goldie Children Fund.
Lee, welcome back from vacay, by the way.
This is nice having him as he's like a third anchor on Facebook.
I know. Lee, we do miss you. Yeah, our Facebook correspondent, Lee Goldberg. It is a nightmare scenario for large companies, a data breach. Not only is it crushing to an organization's reputation, it can expose personal information of millions of Americans in some cases.
Yeah, big enterprise businesses can afford the best cybersecurity, leaving small businesses in an Ethernet limbo, but one Portland-based company is trying to change it. Data breaches, ransomware, email phishing scams. And if you only have antivirus or firewall technology,
it's not close to enough protection today.
Rob Simopoulos and Andrew Rinaldi co-founded Defendify in Portland. The all-in-one cybersecurity platform is for small businesses under 500 employees, helping staff learn and understand online threats to scanning the dark web for company email addresses and passwords.
It's scary every day, and we took it personally because we've run those kinds of companies, and we decided we had to do something about it.
This summer, Defendify was ranked top 10 for security startups in the world by the technology news source CRN. They now work with manufacturers, medical offices, title companies, and nonprofits across North America.
You as a user, what you're allowed to do on that platform.
The startup also posts podcasts, blogs, and blasts out newsletters to make cybersecurity easier for people to understand.
It's kind of like your health. You need to be taking care of it on a daily basis.
And I think that we've developed something here that's cost effective, specifically focused on small business, and that's a unique approach today.
An approach Defendify took to state-funded Maine Technology Institute a year and a half ago.
You'll never get a deal better than what MTI offers.
Defendify secured a technology development loan and grant money to continue its product, as thousands of businesses in Maine before them have done. In the last 2 decades, MTI has bankrolled over $250 million into new companies to help create jobs. Those funds have been matched by over $1 billion in investments.
We try to keep the jobs here, but also attract people to come from Boston to start their business here.
Rinaldi, who hails from Massachusetts, and Simopoulos from Toronto, are now looking for new office space as they look to double their workforce of 12 in the next few months.
Secret's out a little bit. We're less than 2 hours from Boston and a 45-minute flight from Manhattan, and people realize that, and you're starting to see a lot of people head this direction.
I agree. The secret is out. Everyone's starting to feel like they get to Portland all the time.
Sure. I just think it's really cool that they're choosing to live and work here. They're bringing their business here, and it's easier for them to get to other big cities.
Yeah, so right now they have about 12 employees, as I mentioned. I think they're trying to get up to 24, even more than that, and keep making it bigger and bigger. So maybe one day we all be working for Defendify. Who knows?
That'd be kind of cool.
Maybe
Will I get that merit increase?
They might be able to support your finances.
Just trying to ask.
Yeah.
Busy
So
day for you.
we had some one really nasty storm earlier today. Good news is it looked like it could have been a possible tornado, but we would have heard about it because it was Augusta. So it wasn't, sometimes in Maine there's a possible tornado and no one's there to even
kind of like
tell us.
Hancock County.
The other one, but someone took a picture of that even. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting you mentioned that storm. That was the opposite. That storm looked like trash on the radar, put down a tornado. This looked like a tornado on the radar, and it wasn't one. So keeps our lives interesting. But
I guess we'll keep you.
Yeah, I guess we'll be around.
I guess we
still.
need you. Okay.
We got this severe thunderstorm still, although this has probably dropped below severe criteria. But this was the cell. And if you look at the beginning of the frame, right there, it had that classic hook echo as it moved through into Augusta, and it looked for about 10 minutes like it could have been producing a small tornado. Again, luckily it doesn't look like that happened, or we would have heard about it. Right now it's kind of gusted itself out. It still has a lot of lightning, it still has a lot of rain, but it does not have that signature, that hook signature, and the reflectivity and the velocity here doesn't show you any rotation. So the threat for that storm has passed, and it had that brief moment where it looked like it was kind of nasty. Meanwhile, another thunderstorm moving over Sebago. I always watch these when they come out of Sebago. Sometimes they get a little spinny out there as well. But it looks as though we might have another severe thunderstorm or two, and then things settle down after that. Dew points high in the upper 60s and low 70s, and that's part of the reason we're able to sustain and produce these severe thunderstorms, is that there's just a juiced up kind of atmosphere. High temperatures were warm too, almost 90 in Freiburg, 90 in Portsmouth, and 82 in Portland. And so we did have that warm sector aspect of it as well. Hour by hour forecast showing that shower thunderstorm settles down pretty quickly tonight, and by tomorrow morning we clear out. And I've been kind of harping on tomorrow being the best day of the work week, and I think that's still true. A lot of sunshine, temperatures in the mid 80s, some upper 80s. Humidity is high to start, but goes down in the afternoon, and then we go back to a chance at least of showers on Wednesday afternoon. We'll call it a mixture of sun and clouds, and then here comes some more showers and thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon through Thursday morning, and then we clear out Thursday afternoon into Friday and probably straight into the weekend. Dew points washed down by tomorrow midday back into the 50s, but it makes a resurgence again on Wednesday afternoon, so we're going to be going up and down as far as what it feels like to be outside. Guys, I want to skip ahead all the way to the weekend because there looks like a pretty cool pool of air. And these are high temperatures on Sunday. Whoa. A lot of us in the upper 60s, and they'll start in the upper 40s. And so I put PSL weather, question mark there. It's interesting, the weekend actually looks pretty good, but you do get a little nervous in Maine this time of the year when you get cool like that. Upper 60s for high is like football weather, which we're not quite there.
Preseason athletes are going to love it this weekend.
Right. No, it's good for them. And I want to say I don't mind it.
Yeah.
You just start thinking like, well, it's a little early for that kind of action.
Temperatures dip like that, and you start immediately looking into the leaves. Like, are they changing colors?
Yeah, right. And they will. If you get a few of those in a row in the mountains, they will. But this is good for you because you don't want to be heavily pregnant and it be 90. That's just not where you want to be.
And it's not good for me?
No.
No. It's not good for any of us.
You're only 3 months in, so you're all right.
I've been 3 months for a long time. Years.
Dad bod, it's coming up.
Hashtag. Hi, Keith. Thanks, man. Well, if you drive on Water Street in Augusta, you will definitely notice something new. Vehicles are now able to drive two ways on Water Street, which hasn't happened legally in 75 years. I like how we had to say legally. The city says they've heard from people who live around the area of Maine's capital city who are excited to drive the southbound lane. Another result of this change was that the new crosswalk locations are visible and better placed. The city says, please use caution as people get used to this new traffic pattern.
This just screams That's So Maine. Matthew posting a picture from Mechanic Falls. If you are missing a small cow-colored dog or 5, they may be in downtown Mechanic Falls. Hopefully the cows were rounded up. Maybe they needed some car parts. They all kind of convened at that auto parts store.
I wonder why. I mean, I'm always curious to see how they get loose. Why do they end up there?
Some farmer was very stressed today.
There was probably a patch of grass that they really liked right there.
Exactly. All right, well, believe it or not, stealing beach sand is actually, it could be a major crime. The Italian island of Sardinia has some beautiful beaches on the Mediterranean. They are clearly posted with signs, though, in Italian and English warning that stealing sand is forbidden. The pristine beaches feature multicolored sand that some tourists like to take home as a souvenir. Some go farther than that. Customs officials announced that they arrested a French couple trying to leave the island with 88 pounds of beach sand. Taking sand from Sardinia has been a crime punishable by 1 to 6 years in prison and fines as high as $3,300.
88 pounds? How do you fit
Yeah, what
that
are they
in
doing
a
with
carry-on?
that? Maybe they're using it for some sort of like DIY situation, like a
just-
wedding centerpieces, maybe.
Or maybe new gravel leading up to their driveway.
yeah,
or
but
something
that's a
like
lot. That's a lot to try to take home.
All right. Pat Callahan joins us now with a look at what's coming up at 5:30. Hey, Pat.
Hey, Clay and Lindsay. Portland police are looking into a string of burglaries. A dozen small businesses have been hit over the last several weeks, and it's making a lot of business owners nervous. Dustin Vlkowski will show us what's been happening and where. And Don Carrigan reports on a breakthrough at the State House. The governor is calling the legislature back to work to decide on putting a transportation bond on the November ballot, and other requests for bond money will also be considered. He'll sort that out for us. It's all coming up in just a couple of minutes on News Center at 5:30.
Pat, thank you. News Center Now is back after this. Guys, I'm in Facebook now.
Okay, what would you guys do with sand from Sardinia?
I know, it's funny. My brother collects sand from places he goes.
We just saw them. They just
Yeah.
collected from, where'd they grab that from?
So he forgot to get sand. Well, he didn't. He started collecting sand after we had already been to Aruba many, many years ago. So a family friend was just in Aruba. He said, "Can you bring some sand back for me?" And she did, in like a little travel, whatever.
Yeah.
But
See, I try to avoid the sand at the beach, so bringing it home to me is kind of counterproductive.
I know sometimes you bring it home even if you don't want to
I
bring it
know.
home.
Rhythm honor, raindrop.
I know, right?
Oh, Jesse's wondering, what is PSL weather?
That's pumpkin spice latte. That's a Starbucks thing. And Dunkin', was it this week that they're coming out with their pumpkin spice thing?
I think so. August, yeah.
Keith will be number one in line.
Victoria says she's passing Casco and it's pretty. The sun is peaking. So it's so crazy how we live in a big state where weather can be, severe in one part and then calm in another.
Just wait about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It'll all change.
All right, Clay, you here for raindrop?
Should I be?
Yeah, you could say.
He's gonna mess with us a bit.
Where do I usually stand?
We haven't
Oh,
had
you
this
guys
many
usually
people
have
do
only
raindrops
2
in a
people for
long
this, yeah.
time.
Class is back. So you guys both.
Oh, we got a picture from Dolly Sullivan.
Okay.
2
We got a
minutes.
storm picture from Dolly Sullivan on Twitter. Let me see.
We'll get it.
All right.
Okay. Are they going to be ready? Because that's unrestricted.
Dolly Sullivan says the storm is approaching Alamosik.
I got it.
Do you want me on the inside or outside of this class picture?
Liam, I'm going to send you a storm arriving picture in a second.
And just try not to go too wide because we're limited in light over here.
Do you want me to just scoot this out of the way? I feel like it's very limiting. We'll get that out of the way. There we go. Plus, I feel like I'm going to have big reactions to this one.
What is
So
it?
I'm looking for
Oh, I've heard
our
of stuff like that.
Tiguan lease is up soon.
Stand by, guys.
And let's discuss this up.
We'll have an
You looking for a G-Wagon?
Yeah. Yep. Buy, not lease, though, of course.
Fetus and Fidu? Oh. My God.
Today's the music actually really fits because this is an interesting. I saw this last night and I learned a lot here, which is part of the fun of Raindrops sometimes. So the headline's a little clickbaity. Let me just call it what it is. This is our part of our company, so I can do this. I think and still work here.
Oh, so it's part of our website?
Yeah. No. Yes.
Yes,
USA
okay.
Today. Doctors find teen's 17-year-old twin inside her belly. First of all, babies aren't in belly,
Right.
Maybe let's just start there.
Okay.
But so what this is called Fetus and Fitu, and I learned about it last night, and it is what it sounds like in that basically they found a little fetus growing within her, and they didn't know what it was at first. She was feeling this growth, and obviously she was concerned that it was some sort of cancer or something. Pulled it out, and it was a poorly developed fetus. So there's two theories, and they don't know exactly how this happens. The first theory is called the parasitic theory, which is essentially you have identical twins. One of the fetus engulfs the other fetus and grows normally, and the little fetus becomes a parasite for the one that turns into a baby. So it ends up only one baby comes out, and within that is another little tiny fetus.
This is very Men in Black.
Yes, keeps growing. The other is a theory that it's a kind of cyst, believe it or not. They're kind of cysts that are all kinds of different tiny tissue put together. And so the other theory is that maybe sometimes it's just a really strange combination of different tissues that end up looking like a fetus. But these are your two options, and I had never heard of this before. And so this was a 17-year-old. Usually when they find this, it's young. It's a young child. So I don't know, that just blew my mind. Like,
that blows my mind too.
And your hand gestures, that was kind of disturbing.
The whole, which one? The
wrapping
of the...
Yeah, that was...
I just thought this was timely.
I have no words. This is timely. Thanks, Keith.
Thanks for the science lesson, Keith.
That does it for us. News Center Made at 5:30 starts right now. So funny. Bye, Facebook.
See you, Facebook.